If it first game, the brakes go get you, know it up, put on more speed. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our leading our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, side, through the game, tap, this win it. Press you again, here for the first minute. Carry 5 people every 6 minutes.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
With Texas coming into the league now, which school has the real claim to being able to call itself UT?
There's only one real UT. One right shade of orange.
Like I said, like we play with a chip on our shoulder at Tennessee. So, you know, we get a lot of disrespect. So we want to make it clear that we're going to come out and dominate day in and day out.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel it in hands. I can feel it in each other. I can feel it. It's coming in the air tonight.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Coach Jay.
We're going to count down to the commitment of 4-star corner Kai Bates. His decision coming up around 6:30. And look, I know the deal. This feels, we were talking about before we went live, it feels awful familiar. Feels like we were just here not so long ago waiting for the commitment of Braylon Russell, and this one feels just like that. But look, we got a job to do, and not only are we going to count down to the commitment, maybe Kai Bates picks LSU and everybody's disappointed. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about NIL. We're going to talk about what's going on in these recruitments where Tennessee leads, and then going into the last weekend, something changes, something shifts. We're also going to talk about Steve Wiltfong and crystal ball predictions. So stick around for that. Coach Jay, any shot here? Any shot at all on Kai Bates?
I mean, there's always a chance, but the morning weather report didn't look so good this morning. And man, I think what ekes a lot of people is I kind of felt good about this one, right? I think a lot of Vol fans felt good about this one. You know, Russell maybe was more 50-50, 40-60, Ark's the home state. But, man, I thought we had the advantage in this one. I was feeling like 70-30, before the recent news. But, yeah, it's got to eke everyone a little bit. Hopefully he's just trolling LSU because he hates the Tigers. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Never say never. Maybe we get lucky. Put it this way. Old Boogie doesn't have a commitment video made for this one. Feeling pretty confident that he's going to end up at LSU. But like I said, we got a lot to talk about. What changed? What flipped? Because the narrative was that Tennessee was way out in front. We're going to get into all of that taking you all the way to the decision. But let's run down the chat, see who's hanging out. Adam Huckabee was here bright and early, said, don't feel so hot on this one. Hope I'm wrong. Papa J says, what? A live event? Boogie, can I have your arcade games if you get banned again? Yeah, 247 Sports nailed us with a copyright strike. So we're not going to be able to show the live feed anymore. Apparently they don't like competition. Guess what? I love it. So 247 Sports, we're coming. We're coming for you. We're going to take you down. No, in all seriousness, it's fine, man. We just won't show the live commitments. We will do what we always do. We'll break down the commitment, the recruitment, the film. We'll do it all, the same as we always do, all the way up to the decision. Recht is in the house. What's up, my friend? Matt Dumit is here. What's up, Matt? Wade Rouse in the house says, go Vols, probably an LSU lean, but we will see. That's the thing, man. Like, so many people get mad. Why are you live streaming this? Why are you going to do this? He's going to LSU. Because that's what I get paid to do. And I love jumping on here and talking recruiting. So just because Kai Bates goes to LSU doesn't change the type of football player he is. And that's why when we break down the film, and we've already done a full film breakdown on Kai Bates. So all you LSU fans that are in the chat that are celebrating already, go watch that film breakdown. You won't be disappointed. Scott Bennett's here. What's up, Scott? Patrick's in the house. What's up, my friend? Justin says, wait, how are you all using a power T emoji? I'm glad you asked, my friend. You can hit the join button down below. There's also a link pinned to the top of the comment section of the live chat over there. You can join the channel for as little as $1 a month, just $1 a month. I'm on a membership drive, getting close to the goal I wanted for the preseason. I got another ridiculous goal for the regular season, but you guys can help us with that. Hit the join button just like Dylan Darnell did. Becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Dylan. Thank you for the support. Set the floor for a $5 super chat. Says entry fee. How's everyone doing? Appreciate that entry fee. Drop those entry fees. A lot of people. There's 524 people here. 523 of you guys snuck in the back door without dropping in the entry fee, but I guess we will allow it. Let's move on. Let's talk about the man of the hour, 4-star corner, Kai Bates, 6'1.5", 175 out of Orlando, Florida. One of the top 100 players there. You look at the On3 industry rankings, top 100 player. Coach Jay, we did a film breakdown, deep dive on Kai Bates. What do you like about him as a football player?
Yeah, just a really smooth kid. He's really apt in his back pedal, which is a lot of things that, young DBs, especially young DBs that are switching to defense at a little bit older of an age, which I believe Kai Bates was, if I remember right, from when we did his breakdown. He's just got a really, really smooth, fluid back pedal. He changes directions without stopping very well, which is another attribute we really look for in cornerbacks. He's got those long Gumby arms as well, right? You talk about things we can't teach like speed, but you also can't teach length, and he's definitely got those Gumby arms. So that's something to look for. And he's got speed and athleticism, and he tracks the ball really well in space. Definitely a ball hawker back there. And so those were some of the things I would say I like about Kai Bates.
How about this? Will Jones with a $50 super chat. That ain't cheap, and we got something we got to do around here. Shout out to Toby Farley in the chat too, buddy. Good to see you hanging out. You'll like this one. When you drop a 50 spot, we got to play the clip, so we'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Will Jones for $50. Appreciate that. Very generous super chat, my man. What's up, All Nation? Not feeling good about this one, but I hope he jumps in the boat. GBO. Appreciate that, Will. Again, very generous super chat. Yeah, like I get it. You guys are following the same thing that I'm following, that Coach Jay is following. We all know how this thing is trending. So let's get into it, Coach Jay. What changed? Visits Alabama, FSU, Tennessee, LSU. That was how it laid out in June. And the official at Tennessee on June the 16th, man, he was all Vol. It was a very good visit. And the talk, the conversation, the message boards, Austin Price, 247 Sports, wherever you want to go, everything was Tennessee is out front. They put themselves in a good position, but he's got the official visit to LSU on June the 23rd. That visit, the way it played out, everything that I read, everything that I looked into, said that LSU tried to strong arm him, tried to force him into a decision, and everything was, can Tennessee survive the weekend? Coming out of that official, Tennessee still out front. Everything was all Vol till this past weekend, and then everything changed. Let's talk about NIL, because people always want to talk about money. They always want to say, oh, well, we got outbid. Well, there's a narrative out there. that Josh Heupel doesn't want to overpay for these kids when you're in a bidding war. What do you think about that? And overall, in the grand scheme of things, the class of 23, and then also Caleb Beasley, Tennessee's in a good spot at the corner position. But what do you think about the thought process that Josh Heupel doesn't want to overpay for a top 100 player?
I I love the thought process, Boogie. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you should always be wise with your money, right? You don't want to start just tossing money around Texas A&M, right? And just willy-nilly throw it at every kid running around. That's going to end up bad. You're going to end up with a culture problem. You're going to end up with all kinds of problems when you just go throwing your money around. And then there's the consideration of position. It's not that cornerback isn't an important position, but as far as like, talent level out, you look at Christian Conyer, you look at Ricky Gibson, you look at Matthews, you have some similar talent level there already. So why go blow a big wad of money if that's what it is, right? If we're speculating, that's funny that I said it that way, but speculating, I can talk on why it could be, and if that speculation is NIL, then yeah, why would you blow additional money? Now, is he a top 5 cornerback, top 3 cornerback? Yeah, then maybe I could justify it. But if we're just talking about even level talent, I would say go spend that money on, offensive tackles, pass rushers, things of this nature.
And that's when we look ahead at what do the next few weeks look like? Of course, you got Amari Jefferson coming up on August the 5th. Bennett Warren is another big one. Does that suspension impact him in any way? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to impact his decision in any way. But you got Camarion Franklin, Jordan Ross, Ryan Wingo. Those are some legitimate 5-star dudes. I kind of in a video recently mentioned Rodney Garner and kind of questioned, like, look, he's the GOAT. I love me some Rodney Garner, but I think it's fair to question him in this class of 24. I don't think he is landing the guys you expected him to land. I'm expecting Williams Winery. I'm expecting Cam Fountain, and that recruitment's not over. Tennessee's still working Cam Fountain. Camarion Franklin, it sounds like Miami's going to empty the pocketbook. So do you think it's spending your money wisely? We talked it to death, and I can confirm it because I've talked with James Clausen at Spire Sports Group, and he told me it's about offensive tackles, edge rushers, and quarterbacks. It's the NFL pattern. What would you say? The NFL model. There you go. NFL model.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking at here. And you also got to realize $8 million has been spent on a certain generational talent. How much money does Tennessee have? And you can get involved in the NIL game. There's a link in the description if you want to support Spire Sports Group. It's easy to talk money, but like you said, Coach, there's a budget. We've only got X amount of money to spend. Do you spend it on Akai Bates, or are you saving it for Cam Franklin, Jordan Ross, Ryan? I don't think they're ever going to overspend for a wide receiver. I don't see it.
No, I wouldn't think so either. It'd have to be the perfect storm, right? I don't want to say never say never. There could be a Megatron kid out there one day that you want to go ahead and spend that money for if you've got the perfect quarterback to pair with him. But you got to keep your quarterback upright in our offense. You've got to get pressure in the defensive scheme that we are currently running at Tennessee. It's just extremely important. I don't have time to do a full breakdown on our defensive scheme today. Maybe one day we could figure out a way to do it, but we need edge rushers. We need linebackers in our defense over everything with our scheme. And that goes for the star backer as well. I think if you found the perfect star backer with our defense, you spend money on him as well. But I think we've upgraded in the cornerback position already. I think we will continue to upgrade in the cornerback position. And hey, look, we've already proved that we can kick the crap out of LSU with subpar cornerbacks. So, let's keep on trucking.
Guys, we got 776 people watching live. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Do us a favor, smash the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. We would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time on the channel, you're a Tennessee fan, you're just waiting to see where Kai Bates ends up, this is the place for you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. It's all about community. That's what this channel is all about. We got so much fun content coming up. Once the season kicks off, fan call-in shows every single week. morning shows on Monday and Friday. We're going to do a show every Wednesday at noon with BVD and Sports Talk J. It's going to be bouncing from my channel to their channels all over the place. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, every Wednesday night, got guys like Eric Kane that are going to be in the house, Ben McKee, A to Z Sports. Look, I have no allegiance. We can do whatever we want on this channel, and we're going to bring anybody and everybody on here to talk Tennessee football. We do post-game shows, pre-game shows. So if you like Tennessee football, you're diehard, you're passionate, this is the place to be. Make sure you subscribe and get ready, man. Get ready because we are right around the corner from Tennessee football. I can't wait, man. There are so many new subscribers that have no idea what this channel's about. They think it's me rambling into a microphone for 10 minutes every day, and then I send up the bat signal to Coach Jay to come break down some film and talk recruiting, and that is a big part of it. That's the big part of the offseason. But, man, once we get kicking into the real football season, I cannot wait. Let me run this down. We got Jaden Jordan Games. That's a good name. That is a good name. Becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that support. David Hall also becomes a member of the channel. Guys, you can do it for $1. $1 a month. Hit the join button down below or hit that link that is pinned at the top of the live chat. We would appreciate that. Volunteered 77 drops a $5 super chat. Nothing to say. Just says, guys, here's $5. Appreciate the live stream. Thank you, Volunteered 77. We appreciate that. Scotty Oates for $5. If a kid is going for mainly money, I don't personally care if he comes. Priorities wouldn't be in the right place anyway. I agree with that for the most part, Scotty, but then you look at a guy like Nico, and I don't know how much, clearly money was involved. Obviously, money was involved. How much does he like the scheme? How much does he like Josh Heupel? I think Nico was going to get money regardless of where he went, so I think there's more to it than that. But yeah, you got to pick and choose where you spend your money, but thank you for the $5. Great Gaming 101 becomes a member of the channel. Guys, we appreciate it. Again, $1 a month. My good friend James Moody. Haven't seen him in a long time, and he is back. And he is back with a vengeance, dropping $100 super chat. We'll play several clips for this one. Thank you, James.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
James Moody for $100 says, hold my beer. Who's the biggest must-have we are in the lead with and left in the 2024 class? Warren, Franklin, Breland, or someone else? James, $100 is very generous. We appreciate that, brother. Look, I made the video a couple of days ago. Aiden Breland actually canceled his visit, so he's not even going to make it in this weekend. Brandon Baker, as the last I've seen, I've not seen anything else. I think he is supposed to be here. Coach, I'll let you take this one. As far as biggest, let's go 5 stars. Let's go 5 stars. Kamarion Franklin, Jordan Ross, Ryan Wingo. You can include Brandon Baker. Brandon Baker's a long shot. Who do you think is the biggest must-have? If you want to bleed it into 4 stars, like, because I think a guy like Bennett Warren could be a must-have. Take it away.
Yeah, I wouldn't go Baker. That I don't think the kid from Mater Dei, is that who you mean, Baker from Mater Dei? Yeah. No, I don't think he's coming to the Vols, unfortunately, guys. Wink, wink, or whatever, you know. But Bennett Warren, I think, could help us maybe the quickest out of that group, even though he's on the offensive line and they typically don't get into the rotation their freshman year. I think he could get on pretty easily the sophomore year, but for my money, I would say Ross. Jordan Ross has the most upside. Who could ultimately help this team in the most in the future. Spoiler, guys, I'm working on a breakdown right now for Jordan Ross. It's gonna be one of the last 2 breakdowns we do before we get into the meat of this football season. I don't think he'll be ready his freshman year from a technical standpoint, but his physical gifts are 1,000,000% off the charts. So the second he figures it out from a basics and fundamentals standpoint, as well as scheme, the kid's an absolute game changer and could be a top 6-7 pick easily with his skills, with his physical abilities.
And you got to look at, again, Rodney Garner, the guys that he's missed on, man. I feel like, I think Bennett Warren, very, very important because of he's a legitimate offensive tackle, and we'll see how that one plays out. But, that's something we may get into after the decision from Kai Bates comes here in about about 10 minutes or so. I think he's supposed to do it at 6:30. We're not going to be showing that live on air. We're going to be watching it and then getting into it and breaking it down. And maybe we'll kind of go into the class of 24 a little bit. So if you're hanging out, you're a Tennessee fan, you want to talk recruiting, don't just disappear after the decision comes in. We're going to still continue to talk some recruiting, some needs, and get into the future a little bit. We got almost 1,000 people watching right now. Guys, help us out. Smash the thumbs up. We would appreciate it. That is quick, free, and easy. If it's your first time, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live, when we drop a video next Wednesday night, a week from tonight, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Fall camp kicks off on that day. So Eric Kane's going to be in the house at 7 o'clock. I think he will probably be at practice. I've not confirmed that with him yet, but I would imagine he will be there. He's going to come on. We're going to go about 30 minutes talking all things about fall camp, what we're excited about, what position groups we're going to be watching. And then Coach Jay and Xavier are going to come on. The X Factor will be in the house. And we're just going to talk about expectations, Tennessee football. We're going to do what we do. But also, check this out, man. If you guys have not seen, the Buck Fama shirts are back. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The Buck Fama shirts are back. You can pick the style, whether you want a t-shirt, a hoodie, a long sleeve t-shirt, whatever you want. You can change the color scheme. Go check them out. The links are in the description below. You guys demanded to bring those shirts back. So guess what? They're back. Fuga, F-U-G-A. F-U-G-A. If you don't get it, Fuga, F-U-G-A. Those shirts are coming next Wednesday. We're going to drop them next Wednesday, a week from today. We're going to drop them in the morning. We're going to drop a Gator Hater shirt, and also one mystery shirt is going to drop next Wednesday. We'll have those ready for you guys during the live stream next week. But go check out Buck Family. We brought it back. Let me get caught up. Got some business to take care of. Again, shout out James Moody for the $100. That's ridiculous. We appreciate your support. Brother Adam Huckabee for $2. Let's start a gifted membership drive for Boogie. Yeah, we can do that. You guys can gift memberships. It goes to random people in the chat. We would greatly appreciate that. That's a good way that you can support. Wayne Starnes in the house for $5 says entry fee. Appreciate that, Wayne. Big time supporter of the channel. Shout out Wayne for the $5. Ron the Don for 10. Yo, I'm late in Florida on vacation, kicking Gators, but go Big Orange. Door fee engaged. Thank you, Ron the Don. Very generous. We appreciate that. Andrew Garland for $2 says Kai Bates' Twitter likes today are all. Is this a change? Is this a plot twist? Kai Bates' Twitter likes today are all Tennessee. That's interesting. Thank you, Andrew, for the $2. Vols fan 83 becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate you guys. Can't tell you enough how much those memberships mean, man. That's how we pay the light bill around here in the off season, particularly. We are still counting down to the decision from Kai Bates. Let's take a look at some film, Coach Jay, because we are right around the corner from the decision. And then don't go anywhere. After the decision, don't go anywhere. We are going to continue to talk Tennessee recruiting. I want to get into Steve Wiltfong and these crystal balls, because when we compared this thing to Braylon Russell, it goes back to that exact commitment. It was all Vols. All of a sudden, the momentum changes. Steve Wiltfong puts in the crystal ball, and then he deletes it within an hour. He did the same thing with Kai Bates. Put in the crystal ball, Kai Bates to LSU. Then he follows it up and deletes it. I want to get into that. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about these crystal ball predictions after the commitment comes up. But let's go ahead. Let me pull up Huddle here, and let's take a look. Because, again, Coach, we did the film breakdown. You can't change. The internet's forever, brother. The internet is forever. Kai Bates is a baller. He's a gamer. I would love to have him part of this Tennessee football team. Let's talk about what he is as a player. Kick things off here. What do we got? 37 seconds. We're going to take a look at a couple of plays here.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who caught the breakdown, definitely go check it out if you haven't. But for those of you who did, we're going to see more of the same. I got to be honest, it was a bit of a chore to find variation in the film of Kai Bates. So if any high school coaches ever run across this video, please show more variation in your kids' play out there. But looking at the play set up in front of us, we're going to have trips to the bottom of the screen, right? Single back set. We're going to get a nickel look from the defense. Kai Bates is going to be playing over that X wide receiver at the top of the screen, playing off press, not quite press, but off press, head up. Usually Kai Bates, I've been bragging on his stance. He's going to reset here in a second, but little tight together, hands on the knees. I don't necessarily like to be in a little more, aggressive of a stance. There you go. Resets a little. Now, here's what I do like about Kai Bates. You see him really, really quickly sink his hips, get deep, get his hands into a fighting position, ready for anything. When Boogie lets this play go for a second, we're going to see the quarterback sprint out to the bottom of your screen to the trip side of the ball. This is going to be done as kind of a feint or like an off feint. So cornerbacks, linebackers, and safeties, especially at the high school level, are generally taught to flow to the side of the ball with the quarterback's hips and the quarterback's shoulders. So right here, we're trying to get our safeties to flow away from the top of the screen, flow away from that X wide receiver who's going to be running a skinny post pattern on this play. Boogie, all I want to show him is how fluid and smooth this back pedal is. He's going to backpedal about 5 or 6 yards before he starts to open up, and just watch how short, choppy, and smooth this kid's legs are in his back pedal. You can pause it when maybe he hits about the 29 yard line. Yeah, perfect. Gets his hips open. It just absolutely smooth and flawless. When you watch the complete breakdown, it really shows how quickly he can pin and wheel, flip his hips, or press outside leverage as well as inside leverage. But right here, he is pin and wheeled very nice. And we see that he's got great eye discipline. If we look at both safeties, they're flowing with the quarterback's hips and shoulders and eyes, a lot like we've talked about. Not so much with Kai Bates. Kai Bates is trusting the wide receiver. He's practicing good eye discipline, and therefore he's going to be able to get under this route. And when Boogie lets it play, we're just going to see him totally beat this guy to the spot on the field. They're counting on this skinny post being open at about the 50-yard line. Quarterback throws it, and it's just completely defeated from a technical standpoint right there from Kai Bates. Once again, just really, really smooth, apt backpedaling. Gets to the spot much, much quicker. And we see that safety, since he had to rush, he would have been behind that wide receiver, and that would have been a completion on that play.
We got almost 1,300 people watching live. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're taking you all the way to the decision coming up here in just a few moments. So sit tight. We're going to see where 4-star corner Kai Bates ends up. Let me take care of a little bit of business real quick. I always like to incorporate the film breakdown. If you guys aren't familiar with it, there is a playlist on the channel called, what is it called? Breaking Down the Film with Coach Jay, I think is the name. Breaking Down the Film breakdown, whatever, with Coach Jay. Coach coaches, obviously. A little bit of high school football out in California. He's a defensive-minded coach. I love breaking down defensive players with Coach Jay. We have done anybody and everybody. So many targets. Again, I know there's a lot of LSU fans in the chat, and that's cool. If you guys land Kai Bates, congratulations. I encourage you to go back and check out the film breakdown that we did. We look at usually 5 or 6 plays from each player. We've done Amari Jefferson. We've done Mike Matthews, Edwin Spillman, Kai Bates, Caleb Beasley, anybody and everybody. It's a huge playlist. If you enjoy this deep dive from Coach Jay, go back and check those out. Jim becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Jim. Appreciate that support, man. I cannot tell you guys enough how much you impact this channel. You are the reason that this is my job. You are the reason I can provide as much content as I do. So thank you, Jim, for that. Orange Sea Line says, hey, it's football season. I've got to get ready for some fan call-in shows. So I am back to being a member of the channel. We appreciate that, buddy. Looking forward to having you on the fan call-in shows. Bob Franklin also becomes a member of the channel. That's the thing, guys. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis and access to those fan call-in shows. We're going to do them every single Sunday night so that you guys are full of piss and vinegar after the game. I want you guys to have the first voice that next day after the game. So make sure you become a member of the channel. The more you give, the quicker you get on the fan call-in show. Thank you, Bob, for the support. Lily Joy C, did I read that right? Becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Thank you for the, again, $1 a month, custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. Papa J for $5, Dorothy and FUGA every day. Thank you, Papa John. Appreciate that, brother. Great Gaming 101 for $5. Is there any big DB or safety that we have a good shot on for this class or next year's class? This class, you've already got Caleb Beasley in the boat. You got Boo Carter in the boat. You got Gorey in the boat. You go back to the class of 23, Ricky Gibson, Christian Conyer, Jordan Matthews. I think Tennessee has done a great job recruiting defensive backs the last couple of years. Scott Bennett for 5, cover charge. Go get him, Boogie and Jay, my boy from Cali, dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. So Satan gonna blow a gasket, and then he drops that custom Talkin VAWLS emoji of Nick Saban with the crying face. Sean Crowley becomes a member of the channel at Emoji Access. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the support. We're a couple of minutes away from the decision. Let me go look. Still nothing. All right, let's take a look at least one more play, maybe two, Coach Jay. We're at 102.
Yeah, we're looking at deuces. Obviously, deuces in tight to the top of the screen, and deuces spread wide to the bottom of the screen. We're getting a 4-2-5 look from the defense here. 4-2-5, one high cover, one man look from the defense here. Press on the bottom of the screen, and off man press on the top of the screen. So we got a man look here. What the offense wants to do is kind of scheme Mr. Kai Bates here and act like we want to run a go route, a fly route, kind of stem him to the outside, get deep beyond him. And once again, guys, I really will beat it into the ground on the film breakdown in this. When you have good feet and good hips, it allows you to be a patient cornerback, right? And right here, we will see what we're talking about here. But if you want to run this maybe to about the, like 106, 108 mark, right where he kind of starts to stem him and get to the outside on this go route here. Nice square stance. Pop right about there. Yeah, see, stems him to the outside, puts a hand on him. Now, right here, this looks like a go route. The ball is not out yet, and it's important. That's a good freeze there, Boogie, before the ball. Well, ball's just barely starting to come out, but this looks like a go route here to a lot of cornerbacks. And the instinct from a cornerback here is going to be to pin and wheel, which means you open your hips wide to the outside, to the sideline, and then you flip your head around, you pin and you wheel to the go route. Well, this isn't exactly a go route. It's just a little out route to the first down marker, or about a 15-yard and little sit down route outside. Commonly used when we need to conserve a little bit of clock with the offense. Usually a good play to get first down, get out of bounds. So, but Kai is fluid with his hips. He's got a very quick back pedal. You can tell he feels very comfortable that he doesn't need to pin and wheel to make up that space yet. So therefore, he can play him a little straight up. He can just keep his hips turned and not completely pin and wheel around, and use outside leverage, and the sideline is his weapon. And when Boogie lets this go, he makes it look really easy how he just knocks this little out route down. Boogie, go ahead and let it play. Just we'll take a look at that real quick. Just very simple, knocks down that back shoulder throw. And, we talk about it a lot on the film breakdown. Sometimes it's those little things that are impressive to a lot of coaches, right? The fact that he didn't pin and wheel, because you pin and wheel right there, that receiver gets lost. He's gone, he sits down, and you're in trouble. The offense has 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line, and they're marching, right? They're in business. Now, we talked about it on the film breakdown before with Kai Bates. There are some things lacking in his film. Run support, right? We see no run support. I went back, but like I was saying, it was hard to find variation in his film. So I went back and I watched all his film, his sophomore film, his individual game films. And run support was really lackluster. It doesn't mean he can't learn it. He's got some tackling form issues as well. So he's got some basics he needs to worry about moving into the college game. But for someone who just, stepped into learning to play defense, man, he looks smooth in the back pedal. Man, he looks comfortable in his hip switches. And he plays wide receiver as well. And he really understands route pattern and route trees, which puts you eons ahead of the game as a cornerback when you haven't been playing it that long.
Yeah, that was something we talked about in the film breakdown. This is the scouting report from Andrew Ivins, 247 Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Pass catcher turned pass defender with plenty of developmental upside, given length and tentacle-like arms. Started prep career off playing wide receiver. Coach Jay didn't even know that in the film breakdown. That was his analysis. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me read you what a director of scouting had to say. Yeah. I love when we're right, and then we get to say, hey, look, we're right. Sometimes we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, sometimes.
Says still figuring things out from a technical standpoint, but has no issues tracking the football and putting himself in position to make a play at the catch point. Lack of verified speed markers is not ideal in an era where the perimeter defenders are constantly challenged vertically, but does have a basketball background. Natural bounce shows up on tape. Must keep evolving and take to coaching, but should be viewed as a potential multi-year starter at the Power 5 level. Will need to get better as an open field tackler if he's going to make a real difference in run support or even get a look at safety. But has some of what's required to thrive in a defensive scheme that wants to press often. NFL scouts will likely be drawn to his size one day. We got 1,800 people watching live, taking you all the way up to the live decision from Kai Bates. They are talking right now. The high school coach is talking. We're going to let you guys know as soon as that decision comes in. But make sure you smash the thumbs up as we get down to this decision. 1,800 people watching. If it's your first time on this channel, if you are a Tennessee fan, you like Vol football, this is for the fans, by the fans. The heartbeat of the Tennessee fan base is right here on the Talkin VAWLS network. That's why we have the biggest subscriber count on YouTube, because you have a voice here. It's not about what I think, what Coach thinks, what Dauber thinks, what JP thinks, what X Factor thinks. It's about what you guys think. That's why we do the fan call-in show. There's no other media platform that's going to give you a voice where you get to come on every single week and be a part of the show. We do that here. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe, because we're right around the corner from football season. All kinds of fun content coming your way. We're right around the corner from a decision, guys. Keeping an eye on it. Going to let you guys know as soon as Kai Bates makes that decision. We will let you guys know. Let me get caught up real quick. VFL Willie for 2. Is there any big DTs we should keep an eye on? We'll get into some recruiting here in just a moment after this commitment. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Jordan Boyd for 2 with a super sticker. Thank you for that. Voice for Radio, Peyton Bowles and Mark Goins all become a member of the channel. Appreciate you guys for that support. That's what pays the bills around here. I think I just missed a super chat. I'm going to have to scroll back up. And find it. I was going too fast. Joseph Harris for 5. That's what I missed. Joseph Harris for 5. Nothing to say. Just puts a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the super chat. All right. I'm trying to keep an eye on the decision here to let you guys know. And then we're going to move forward. We're going to talk some recruiting. I want to talk about Steve Wiltfong and these crystal balls. We're going to get into that. So don't go anywhere after this decision. Coach, do we have a shot or absolutely no shot?
Yeah, just like the Wilfong thing, right? Like it makes you think they have no shot, but you never know, right? Like, hey, listen, Steve Wilfong, he's not really he's an interviewer, right? He sits down, he interviews the kid. He's not necessarily like a football, like straight up analyst, like analyzing the X's and O's and clocking the speeds. If I'm not mistaken, he's more of a interviews the kids, and that's where he gets his takes. And I'm good with that. It gives you a lot of inside tracks. But I will say this, like putting up a crystal ball, taking it down, putting it up again. I think you've said it on this channel that you feel like once they put up a crystal ball, it should be locked in. Because otherwise it feels like that one buddy you have who scrolls YouTube and there's like a poll on YouTube, who's going to win tonight? The Lakers or the Bulls. And then after the game's over, he changes what selection he put on the YouTube poll to the correct answer. It just feels like that a little bit to me. So I certainly wish they would lock in that pick and have to ride with it. Maybe it's just me.
I'm watching the commitment right now. I've got an inside connection, got a live feed coming in my ear right now. Kai Bates is going to take his talents to Louisiana State University. The decision is in. Kai Bates is off to LSU again. No real surprise, man. If you can read between the lines, and I get it. I understand. So many of you guys, I don't know if you're in the chat or if it's just what I see on social media. Boogie, why are you doing this? He's going to LSU. He's an LSU lock. I know where he's going. And yeah, and clearly he did. He went to LSU, and it is what it is. But I want to get on here and talk about recruiting with Coach Jay, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to cover recruiting. We have planned this live commitment for weeks. I'm not going to back down just because things start trending to LSU. But again, let's go back to the Steve Wiltfong thing, Coach Jay. That's something I want to talk about is these crystal ball predictions. How do we change these? Because to me, and look, let me rant a little bit on this copyright strike that I got from 247 Sports. We live streamed for an hour, 1 hour, just like we did tonight. We broke down tape. I don't even remember who it was. Who was it that we got the copyright strike on? Was it Braylon Russell? It was Braylon Russell.
Yep.
We broke down tape on Braylon Russell. We talked about his recruitment. We spotlighted him. We highlighted him. We put the spotlight on the kid, not on me, not on Coach Jay. 247 Sports went live for 5 minutes. They were live for 5 minutes to show the decision. Why? To get views and make money. And I got no problem with that because I'm here to get views and make money too. That's the point of YouTube. Social media. What does social mean? Social means you want views. That's why you're here. That's why everybody's here. But for 247 Sports, the copyright strike me tells me, stop highlighting the kid. It's about me. It's about 247 Sports. It's about getting views on our channel. It's not about the kid. And that's where 247 Sports, that's where Steve Wiltfong is wrong with these crystal ball predictions. Because, again, if you're putting in a prediction of what you think, that's fine. I got no problem with that. But if you wait till the last hour and look, he's good at his job. I can't say that enough. He's really good at what he does. So he has connections at Tennessee. He's got connections at LSU. So when Kai Bates contacted probably Tennessee, probably LSU, probably let Josh Heupel know, hey, I'm going to LSU. Somebody within the coaching staff or that recruiting administration talked to Steve Wiltfong and said, hey, he's going to LSU. So what does he do? Immediately puts in the crystal ball. Spoiler alert. We know that's where he's going. You guys knew it in the chat. We knew it. Everybody knew it. There's no surprise. So what do you think, Coach? Should we change? Should we do away with crystal balls? Or should we just say Steve Wiltfong's good at his job? Screw the kids. I don't care about their moment. It's more about Steve Wiltfong than it is Kai Bates.
No, I think you should give the kids their moment. Otherwise, just have them commit, quietly and not have their moment. And furthermore, and we've talked about it on this channel, I think those moments can be important to high school programs as well as the school and just general well-being of the state of high school football altogether. Whenever you have buzz like that and a top-rated kid, it brings so much buzz to a school. I mean, I've talked about it before on this channel during a bye week I had. It just happened the stars aligned and I got a bye week the same week Tennessee had a bye week. So I got to see a good friend, Coach Pearson at Warren, got to go to the Nico game. Just what an athlete does, a top tier recruit can do to a school, and the buzz it can bring, the Friday night light magic that it can bring to a program. Is great. It's great. If you don't love that, you don't love football. So I think it is important to let them have their moment. I think Steve Wiltfong is good at his job. I think they just need to make a pick and ride with it and not change it in the 15th hour.
Yeah, maybe that's the change that they could make. It's just once you make the prediction, it's locked in. It's like Ryan Wingo, right? It's the crystal ball was there for Tennessee, now it's there for Texas, and like everybody's freaking out. And I'm like, I don't care because Ryan Wingo's going all the way to December. He's going all the way up to the early signing period. He's going to visit Tennessee during the season. None of that like that prediction from Steve Wiltfong does not matter. And he's so concerned with his percentage, right? Oh, my percentage has to be high so that I'm respected. And it's like, no, you can, like, he's behind a paywall and he does the Wiltfong whip around. He can give recruiting information. And that's why Austin Price is the best in the business because it's almost fun. It's almost a game that we as fans are trying to read between the lines of what is AP really telling us, because look, he knows just like Steve Wiltfong knew that Kai Bates was going to LSU, AP knew it. And he's trying to give you hints so that where he's going without spoiling the kid's moment. And like that's what it's all about, is the kid. Like, they should enjoy that moment. Like Braylon Staley coming on the channel and agreeing to do an interview with me. I could have easily come on here and said, guys, look, he's picking Tennessee. I talked to him 3 hours ago. This is going to be awesome. Get ready. No, I want to tease it and let everybody have fun and let the kid have fun and enjoy that moment. So I don't know. I think they've got to change something with the crystal ball. Let's continue to talk a little recruiting. We still got 900 people watching live. Guys, stick around. We're going to talk about this class of 24, some upcoming targets for another 10, 15 minutes or so. Whiskey Charlie becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that support, brother. You guys want to get in where you fit in. You want custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Coach Jay was a member of the channel. He came on a fan call-in show, and I was like, all right, who is this guy? Why has he got coach in his name? Does he think he knows a little something more than I do about football? And he does. He knows way more about football than I do. And that's the beautiful thing. If somebody comes on this channel and they know more than I do about football, look, I'm a hype guy. Like, I can get on here, and I love Josh Pate at 247. He says the same thing. He's like, I'm not going to break down X's and O's. I can't do that. But if somebody wants to come on the channel and do it for me, I will gladly allow that. And that's the beautiful thing. You can be a part of this thing. You join the channel, become a member. You can jump on the fan call-in shows. And Coach Jay said it a couple of weeks ago. Who's the next guy? Like, who's the next guy that's going to be a part of this channel that comes on regularly?
Yeah.
Not just the fan call-in shows, Wednesday nights, Monday morning, Friday morning. You never know, man. You never know. Shout out to Isaac Owens for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the support. Hope to see you guys on the fan call-in shows. But let's talk about this class of 24. Let me pull up on 3 here. We'll take a look at it. Tennessee sitting inside the top 10, fourth in the SEC. Let's start with that, Coach. You know, a lot of people say top 10 is not good enough. You got to be top 5. You're fourth in the SEC. You're some people want to say middle of the pack. Tennessee is not in the middle of the pack. Where do you think Tennessee needs to get? We talked about it before. I think you've said top 10 is great. You need a top 5 class every 4-year cycle.
Yeah, and it's exactly what I was about to say again. And I think you need that to just kind of break through that ceiling, right? You can, in theory, you could be very competitive with the top 15 class in a 4-year cycle. I mean, heck, Boise State and a couple teams, UCF have proven that in recent memory. But you can pull top 10 classes, couple top 8 classes, and put a top 5 class in that cycle, then you're going to be doing magical things, that's for sure. So I think we're on pace just fine right now. It would be really nice to get a certain wide receiver early in August. And we got a couple more targets on the board. And once again, I think there will be a target or two that emerges throughout their senior year of high school here. It's been a common theme with Heupel and this coaching staff. They've done evaluations extremely well. Something to really be happy about is coaching them up and evaluating them properly. And our coaching staff has certainly done that. So there's a lot to be excited about. And as long as we can pop through that top 5 ceiling here, I think we'll be just fine, and we can get over the hump.
How many of these targets moving forward do you think Tennessee? I think they can still, maybe not top 5, maybe top 7. I think they could end up being top 7. You know, again, you mentioned Amari Jefferson coming up on August the 5th. Bennett Warren is a big one. Cam Franklin, Jordan Ross, Ryan Wingo. You got Chris Cole, the 4-star linebacker that's going to be in town this weekend. I know he just got predicted to Georgia, but it's not by one of the top guys. It wasn't Simmons. It wasn't Wiltfong. It was a Georgia beat writer that put that prediction in. So take that for what it's worth. Those are real predictions, though. I kind of like those, right? It's like that dude thinks Georgia's going to ultimately win in the end. Forget the fact that he's coming to Tennessee this weekend. But there's a lot of guys that Tennessee, Cam Fountain, that's not over. And, you brought up a good point, and something that I keep beating into the ground is going back to last year and Arian Carter, man. Like, is there anybody that we were more excited about on the defensive side of the ball than Arian Carter? Like that was a huge win for Tennessee on the recruiting trail. And that dude was a running back, a 3-star running back committed to Memphis in the summer of last year. He was not a guy that we were talking about. He came out of nowhere. So you're right, man. There's going to be some guys that, and you hope you get your evaluations right. But then there are the big prospects like Cam Franklin, Jordan Ross, Ryan Wingo that are ultimately going to shape out this class. Where do you think they can end up? I'm looking at the class right now, and people want to say, oh, Josh Heupel can't close. He can't finish. And it's so comical because it's the emotions of recruiting, the highs and the lows. It's like he can't close. And then last week, I'm at freaking Disney with my family, and what a huge week, right? Mike Matthews, freaking you
It
land
was a great
Edwin
week.
Spillman. That's a huge week. And then all of a sudden, Kai Bates chooses LSU, and people are ready to burn the program to the ground. It's over. It's done. But let's look at the On3 industry rankings. Mike Matthews, 14th in the country. Caleb Beasley, 132. Jake Merklinger, 134. Braylon Staley, 136. Jonathan Eccles, 142. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the top 150. Are you kidding me? Peyton Lewis, 181. You want to talk about the On 300? Peyton Lewis is in the On 300. Boo Carter's there. William Satterwhite's there. Max Anderson is there. Kellen Lindstrom is there. Edwin Spillman rounds out the On 300. I think the class of 24 is looking pretty freaking good right now.
Yeah, no, I think they look great. I think we evaluated well last year. I think we did it well this year. And there's a lot of football to go. These things run until signing day, and you got to hold on to them, right? And that not only goes for teams like LSU, that goes for Tennessee certainly as well, or any team. You got to keep showing your product out there on the football field. We're going to be graded by these prospects as this season continues along. We gotta hold court. We got to take care of business. We got to win games. But I certainly like how we've been evaluating. I certainly like the way we've been recruiting. Does it hurt when you don't get a good DB, a good recruit out of Louisiana, great cornerback out of Louisiana? Sure. But I'll tell you what, when you can get the number one cornerback out of the state of Louisiana last year, you're not going to get a top 2, cornerback out of every state every year. So the fact that we got one in the 2 years is a good thing to me. And I think we're doing just fine on the recruiting trail. I think that we'll end up, my prediction is 7. And I'd be disappointed if we fell out of the top 10 and hit 11. But once again, I like the talent that we have. So if we can hang on to what we got, I'd probably be happy too, Boog.
Yeah, you were going to have to land like Braylon Russell, Kai Bates. Some of those guys you were going to have to land, I think, to get to the top 5. Not even 5 stars. They're going to have to. They would have to do that too, clearly. But you can't. How can you complain about a top 7 class? I just don't think you can. A couple of super chats here. The X Factor's in the house for 5. Thank you for super chat, brother. It's never over till it's over. We still got some big recruits coming our way. We will be fine. GBO. Thank you for the $5, X Factor. Looking forward to hanging out next Wednesday. Chris Farmer also here for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Go Big Orange. Thanks, Wilt Fong, for the spoiler. Probably headed to LSU, but I hope I'm wrong. It's over, Chris. The decision came in about 10, 15 minutes ago. Kai Bates is off to LSU. Best of luck to him. I hope he has a great career for LSU. The chat's the Wild West. They're yelling at each other. They're cussing at each other. Hey, it's a beautiful thing.
I will say one thing, though, because I like to bring it up when you're counting rings in the chat. I believe LSU's got less national championships than Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it's the narrative.
I believe they've got 4.
It's the narrative.
Yeah.
It's like when people say, let's look at records since 2017. Well, that's weird. Why'd you put 2017? Because it benefited you. When's the last time you won a national championship? Oh, why are you saying that? Because it benefited you? You want to talk about all-time rings? No, you don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about the last ring because it benefited you. And if that's what you want to do, LSU fans, if what you want to do is talk about recent, what's the most recent? We can go to national championships. We can go to wherever you want to go, or we can go to the most recent thing, and we can take a look at last year, 40-13. And I refuse to call it Death Valley. I'll just call it Embarrassing Valley. Tennessee took over that stadium, singing Rocky Top. The LSU players were talking about it like nobody. There was only Tennessee fans there. So if you want to talk about recent, beat the brakes off of you. You don't want Tennessee. You're glad Tennessee's not on that schedule in 2023. They don't want none of that. They don't want none of that.
Yeah. Good old Knoxville South there in Louisiana.
I don't even think
that's fun though.
Yeah, maybe like Memphis. Maybe like Memphis South. Let's call them Memphis South.
Good time. There you go. Memphis South. The Memphis South Tigers.
It was Death Valley. The death of LSU. I don't know. Was it their death? I don't think they even showed up. I don't think they even showed up to the stadium. Like, it was never a game. Like that whole week, we're building it up, man. This is a huge opportunity. Going on the road, Death Valley, going to be electric. And then they're like, we didn't get a drink beer because it was noon. That's why we lost. We didn't get a drink enough beer before kickoff. It's
They
embarrassing.
blamed it on their Bud Light being gone.
Exactly. Exactly. Like we couldn't drink our Bud Light. We couldn't drink our Bud Light before kickoff.
Oh man,
Embarrassing.
that's funny.
Another
That's
super
good
chat
times.
here. Eric Wallen
Good
for
old.
5. Thank you for the super chat. Happy for LSU. They clearly needed a DB after each one of them got burned at home last year against us 40-13. That's a great super chat. That is a great super chat. I think that's the way to send us out the door. Thank you, Eric, for the $5. We appreciate that. Everybody that's new here, first time on the channel, if you're still hanging around, make sure you subscribe, click the bell for notifications. We'll be live next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time with Eric Kane, jumping into fall camp. I think I'm going to do every Wednesday in August, and I'm going to put up the bat signal, and I'm going to see if we can get maybe Ben McKee, maybe A to Z Sports, maybe Dell Dowden from Rivals comes back on. See if we can get some of these big-time media guys to come on for 30 minutes, and then me, Coach Jay, and the X Factor kind of follow that up, and we'll talk about fall camp. We'll talk about practice, competitions, everything that's going on. So I think we're going to have a fun August. Yeah, August. That's the month we're in. And then also I'll be live every single Monday night playing NCAA football. And then the week before kickoff, it's full steam ahead. We're going to do a fan call-in show that Sunday before kickoff. So make sure you get those memberships in so you can be a part of that. Also, we're going to shift the NCAA streams to Tuesday night. I'm going to be going live every Monday morning, every Friday morning with Coach Jay, Wednesday at noon with BVD and Sports Talk Jay. So much fun content coming your way. So make sure you're subscribed. The bell for notifications is clicked. Get in where you fit in. Go check out the Buck Famous shirts, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Links in the description below. We're going to go tomorrow and record some film breakdowns. We got those coming your way here the next couple of weeks. And then we're just diving into fall camp, man. So enjoy those last couple. And if all you LSU fans, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
You're welcome here, man. You are welcome. You like Kai Bates? We did a film breakdown on him. Go back, check that out. But that's going to do it. He's Coach Jay. My name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we call